Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to join this family. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to crochet this beautiful bucket hat. These are the two colors I used. Feel free to use any color of your choice. So I'll be using a 3.5mm crochet hook. To begin, make a magic ring. This is how I make a magic ring. Take your crochet hook, pick this yarn from below the loop, take off one finger, hold this yarn this way to take off the other finger, hold here below the crochet hook, chain one and fasten to secure this loop. So we have made a magic ring. To begin, chain 3, then we are going to be crocheting 3 together. After chaining 3, yarn over, go through the magic ring, draw a loop. You have 3 on your crochet hook, yarn over, draw through 2 only. We have crocheted 2 together, yarn over, go through the magic ring, draw up a loop. You have 4 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, draw through 2 only. Now we have 3 on our crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 3. So we have crocheted 3 together. Then we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, crochet 3 together, yarn over, go through the magic ring, draw a loop. You have 3 loops, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, go through the magic ring, draw a loop. You have 4, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the magic ring, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. When you have 4 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4. So we have crocheted 3 together. Then you are going to chain 3 and continue. After chaining 3, do the same as we have done here. You go through the magic ring, draw a loop. When you have 3, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, go through the magic ring, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the magic ring, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. Now you have 4 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and continue crocheting 3 together, making these petals until you have 6 of them. After making these 6 petals, by crocheting 3 double crochets together, row 1 is done. So you chain 3 because after every petal we have a chain 3. After chaining 3, pull this yarn to close the magic ring. Then you are going to slip stitch at the top of this chain we made when we were beginning this row to finish row 1. So this is what I have. You continue slip stitching until you get to the next chain space. We will be working from a chain space. So after getting at this chain space, you chain 3 and we are going to crochet 3 together. 1, 2, 3. The chain 3 is our first double crochet. So crochet 3 together, yarn over, go through this chain, draw a loop. When you have 3, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the chain the second time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. When you have 3 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 3. So we have crocheted 3 double crochets together, chain 2, and crochet 3 together in the same chain space. So you go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the chain, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the chain, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. You have 4 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4. So we have crocheted 3 together. You chain 2 for you to move to the next chain space and repeat what we have done. Go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through to only, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through to only, that is 2 crochet together, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through to only. Now you have 4, yarn over, draw through all the 4. So we have crocheted 3 together, you chain 2 and crochet 3 together in the same chain space still. So go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. When you have 4, yarn over, draw through all the 4. You are going to repeat this into every chain space. You chain 2, yarn over, go to the next chain space, you go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the chain, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the chain space, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. You have 4, yarn over, draw through all the 4. So we have crocheted 3 together, you chain 2, crochet another 3 together in the same chain space. This is one. You go through the second time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the third time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. You have 4 loops on a crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4, chain 2, go to the next chain space and repeat that until you get to the end. When you get at the end, after making the cluster of 3, chain 2, 3, you chain 2 and slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 we make when beginning our row. So slip stitch at the top of this chain 3 we made when beginning row 2 to complete row 2. To begin row 3, slip stitch until you get to the next chain space. Every row we are going to begin from a chain space. When you get to this chain space, you are going to do exactly the same way we did row 2. So chain 3, the same way we did row 2, you chain 3, yarn over, go through here, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. We have crocheted 3 together. So yarn over, draw through all the 3, you chain 2 and crochet 3 together in the same chain space. So this is one. Yarn over, go through the second time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, 2, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, those are 3. So yarn over, draw through all the 4 loops, you chain 2 to move to the next chain space. In the next chain space, we repeat the same. You yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the second time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the third time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. You have 4 loops on a crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4. We have crocheted 3 together, you chain 2, and in the same chain space, you crochet 3 together. This is one. Yarn over, go through the second time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the third time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. You have 4 loops, yarn over, draw through all the 4, chain 2, go to the next chain space and repeat doing that until the end, the same way we did row 2. So repeat that until the end. When you get at the end, after making this cluster of 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, you slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 we made when beginning this row 3 to finish. Then slip stitch until you get to the next chain space. Every row we work beginning from a chain space. When you get into this chain space, you chain 3, we crochet 3 together. So yarn over, go through here, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2. When you have 3, yarn over, draw through all the 3. You chain 2, crochet another 3 together, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the second time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the third time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. When you have 4 loops, yarn over, draw through all the 4. Then you are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip the next chain space, go to the next one, and make this cluster we have been making. You crochet 3 together, chain 2, crochet another 3 together in the same chain space. So when you have 4 loops on a crochet hook, you yarn over, draw through all the 4, chain 2, crochet another 3 together. So you go through here, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through here, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the third time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. When you have 4 loops on a crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4. You chain 3, skip this one, go to this next chain space, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the second time, draw a loop, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the third time, draw a loop, draw through 2 only. You have 4 loops on a crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4. We have crocheted 3 together, chain 2, and crochet another 3 together in the same chain space. When you have 4 loops on a crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4. You chain 3, you skip 1 chain space, go to the next one, and repeat that until the end. At the end of this row 4, the diameter of this circle measures 6.3 inches, which is okay. I was making this for an adult size. So if yours measures less than this, you are going to repeat working the same way we worked row 3 until it measures around 6, because if you are using a smaller yarn or a thin yarn, you need to make more rows for you to achieve the same diameter. So at this point I will chain 3, because after every cluster we have a chain 3, then slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 that I made when beginning this row, then slip stitch until you get to the next chain space. Now from now onwards, we're going to repeat making the same row 5 to row 9. So you chain 3, crochet 3 together, so yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. When you have 3, yarn over, draw through all the 3. We have crocheted 3 together, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, move to the next chain space and crochet 3 together. So this is 1, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. This is 2, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. This is 3, yarn over, draw through all the 4 loops, chain 3, go to the next chain space and repeat that. You go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. That is 1, yarn over, go through the chain space, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. That is 2, yarn over, go through, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only. That is the third, yarn over, draw through all the 4 loops. You chain 3 and move to the next chain space and repeat that. You yarn over, go to the next chain space, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the second time, draw a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 only, yarn over, go through the third time, draw a loop, draw through 2 only. When you have 4 loops on a crochet hook, yarn over, draw through all the 4, chain 3, move to the next chain space and continue crocheting 3 double crochets together until you get to the end of the row. When you get at the end, you chain 3 because there is a chain 3 after every cluster of 3 double crochets crocheted together. Slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 we make when beginning a row. So we have finished row 5. Slip stitch until you get to the next chain space. Then you are going to work rows 6, 7, 8 and 9 the same way we have worked row 5, crocheting 3 double crochets together in each chain space across. You chain 3, move to the next chain space and repeat that just the same way we worked this row 5. So continue, then I'll meet you at the end of row 9. I have marked here so that I tell you how many rows I worked and the inches that I have worked. This is what I have. So I worked up to row 9. This row 8 and 9 added this gray color, working the same way but using a different color. Then this one measures 3.5 inches, which is okay. If yours measures between 3 to 3.5, that is okay. Mine measures 3.5. So after chaining 3, because there's a chain 3 after every cluster of 3 double crochets, slip stitch at the top of a chain 3 we make when beginning a row. You chain 1 and cut. Because I'm done using this gray color, I will reattach the blue yarn here at this, in this chain space, tie ones to secure, then go through, draw a loop, chain 1, then I'm going to chain 1 and this chain 1 will serve as my first single crochet. So go through the chain space, make the second single crochet. After making 2 single crochets in the chain space, here in this cluster you make 2 single crochets, and remember to go along with these loose yarns so that at the end you don't have many loose ends to weave in. After making 2 single crochets in the cluster, in the chain space you make 2 single crochets. This is 1 single crochet, this is the second single crochet. At the top of this cluster of 3 double crochets, make 2 single crochets. Then you go to the chain space and make 2 single crochets. This is 1 single crochet. Make the second single crochet. Repeat that until the end. At the top of this 3 double crochets crocheted together, make 2 single crochets. So this is the second one. And in the chain space you make 2 and repeat that until the end. So repeat that sequence until the end. You make 2 single crochets in the chain space and make 2 single crochets at the top of the cluster of 3 double crochets. When you get at the end, slip stitch at the top of the chain 1 we made when beginning this row 1 of the brim. So row 1 is done of the brim. Row 2 of this brim, we are going to slip stitch on the back loops across. I'm marking here so that I don't get confused where I started slip stitching. So you are going to slip stitch from the back loops only. Go to the next stitch, slip stitch from the back loop. Go to the next stitch, slip stitch from the back loop only, and you are going to repeat that until the end. The reason why we are slip stitching across is to avoid overstretching of this bucket hat when wearing it. So slip stitch until you get to the end, and ensure that you are not slip stitching too tight, because you don't want to feel uncomfortable when putting on this bucket hat. So after slip stitching until the end, you are going to fit this on your head to ensure that you are not slip stitching too tight to make it uncomfortable on your head, and at the same time don't do it too loose. When you are done, you chain one. This chain one counts as our first single crochet. Make the second single crochet in the same stitch where you have made a chain one to make them two single crochets in the same stitch. Then the next two stitches, make one single crochet into each one of them. Now we go through both loops, not from the back loop. After that, the next stitch, you make two single crochets in the same stitch. This is one. Make the second single crochet in the same stitch, working normal loops across. The next two stitches, make one single crochet into each one of them. This is, go to the next one, make the second single crochet. After that, the next one, two single crochets in the same stitch. This is one single crochet and the second single crochet in the same stitch, and repeat the sequence until the end. In one stitch, you make two single crochets in the same stitch. In the next two, just one single crochet into each one of them. Repeat that sequence until the end. When you get at the end here, remove the stitch marker, make a slip stitch to finish row 3 of our brim. Then we are going to begin row 4 of this brim. You chain one, go to the next stitch from back loop. From now onwards, we are going to work from the back loop. I'm marking the beginning here. So work one single crochet from the back loop into every stitch across until the end of this row. So work one single crochet from the back loops only till you get at the end here. Remove this stitch marker. You slip stitch from the back loop to finish this row 4. To begin row 5, you chain one. We work the same way we worked row 4. Make one single crochet into every stitch across from the back loop. You make one single crochet into every stitch from the back loop across the same way we worked row 4. So continue working that way. Then I will meet you at the end of row 7. So this is at the end of row 7. I want to add the gray color. I make a single crochet from the back loop here, slip stitch here where I had this stitch marker to finish row 7. But before slip stitching to finish, I will add this gray color and use it to slip stitch. Tie the loose end of the gray color to the blue color I was working with. Then cut this blue yarn. Then you are going to work the same way. The only difference is that you are using a different color. So you chain one and work one single crochet from the back loops until the end, the same way we were working, but now we are using this gray color. So make one single crochet from the back loop until you get to the end. So I'm at the end here, finishing up this row 8. You remove the stitch marker and slip stitch going through both loops, not the back loop, so that we have a nice finishing of this color. Then chain 1 and continue making one single crochet from the back loops only until the end of this row 9 we have started. So I have come to the end of this row 9, making one single crochet from the back loops. I remove the stitch marker and slip stitch from the back loop to finish row 9. To begin row 10, you chain 1. The chain 1 counts as our first single crochet, so make the second single crochet in the same stitch. Then the next 3 spaces you work one single crochet into each one of them. Still we are working from the back loops, so this is one single crochet. Go to the next one, make the second single crochet, go to the next one and make one single crochet. After working on 3, the next one you make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. This is one, make the second one that way. After that you alternate that. The next 3 stitches you make 3 single crochets, that is 1 single crochet into each one of them. This is the third one. Then the next stitch you make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. This is 1 and this is 2. So repeat that sequence until the end. You make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. The next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet into each one of them. Repeat until the end. At the end, remove this stitch marker, slip stitch from the back loop. You chain 1. Now rows 11 and 12, you are going to work 1 single crochet from the back loops still into every stitch across. So this is row 11. Work 1 single crochet into every stitch across from back loop. Work the same way row 12. So row 11 and 12 you work 1 single crochet. This is what I have worked up to row 12. I'm going to slip stitch here where I had the stitch marker, and that marks the end. The brim measures 3.5 inches and I'm done making this bucket hat. I had slip stitched, so I'll cut this yarn, then take this loose yarn through this loop I have on crochet hook, attach this loose yarn to my needle, take it to the wrong side of this bucket hat through the next stitch. Then this loose yarn I'm going to weave it in by going through some back loops from the wrong side of this bucket hat. Go through some loops, after going through some loops you will cut the excess. Then I'm going to weave in all the other loose ends you have. This one I will take it through these loops I have here, then cut the excess. This blue one I will weave it in through some back loops here. Cut the excess, the gray one, take it through some loops here. I will cut the excess as well. So that is the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, share. This will help to grow this channel and enable me to share more content with you. Enjoy making this hat. Then I'll see you in my next tutorial.